Hey, 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 it's Carmina with the Fit and Healthy After 40 Club. How are you doing? Today is Wednesday, right? Yes, yes. The countdown to Christmas has officially begun, and my gift count is still at one. I'm in trouble this Christmas morning, but we'll figure it out. We always do, right? Well, today, speaking of Christmas and gifts and all that good stuff, I wanted to talk to you about the concept of enough because I've been reading this book. It's called The Soul of Money. It's by Lynn Twist. And I'm not very far into it, but I read something today and I was like, huh, okay. I wanted to let me bring this to the power walkers and see what they think about it. So, in case you're new to our community and in case we haven't met yet, my name is Carmina Mebs. I'm a clinical weight loss practitioner, and my gym is helping action takers create a body they love living in so that they can live a life they truly, truly love. But before we get started, I'm ever so curious. Do you ever feel guilty for wanting more? Let me know in the comments. Whether you're watching the replay or you're watching live, I still want to interact with you. So let me know in the comments. Do you ever feel like, you know what? I should just be happy with what I have and not want more? Let me know. Because it's a concept I find, super interesting. And if I'm being completely honest, it's something I'm like struggling with a little bit, right? Because obviously, the when you hear the when is enough ever enough or something like that, immediately you think about money and about greed, and that's the obvious stuff, right? So we don't need to spend much time there. I'm pretty sure in this community we're pretty much on the same page when it comes to like those extreme things. But in the book, she told a story about when she met Mother Teresa in real life, and she had a meeting with her, and it was a lovely meeting, and it was a really good conversation. And in the middle of the meeting, here walks this very rich couple, and they were very entitled in their, I'm sure they were like donors to Mother Teresa's organization, and they felt very entitled to her time, and they behaved very rudely. And when you read it in the book, you're like, oh my God. And she was so furious about them, for about their attitude and how they pretty much accosted Mother Teresa, and pretty much force her to take pictures with her and things like that. And what was interesting is that you know she had such anger towards them that she pretty much almost cut the meeting short with Mother Teresa afterwards, because she just couldn't contain like how enraged she was about their behavior. And what was interesting is that following that meeting, she actually wrote a letter to Mother Teresa to explain to her, how righteously angry she was at that couple. And Mother Teresa, in her response, pretty much explained to her that she was a little bit of a hypocrite, right? Because, and that wasn't her words, these are my words, but that's the interpretation of it. She was pretty much a hypocrite, because she's like, well, it's easy to love the poor. It's easy to love people who don't have money, who are suffering, who need stuff from you that you can provide for. It's not so easy, is it, to love people who have money, right? Because regardless of their behavior, and that was not excusing their behavior, but it was just saying that, you know what, those people, just because they have money doesn't mean that they're okay, right? It doesn't mean that they are not in dire need of your love and your compassion, because money does not solve everything. I mean, I know we all know that, but that is not quite the point I wanted to make. But that story stuck with me because, yes, it's easy to love the people who allow us to feel good about ourselves. And the reason I say that is because when we give, right? When we give to charity, when we help the poor people in the street, or whatever, like, we feel good about ourselves. Yes, we're doing something to help somebody else, but ultimately we do it because we feel good about ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because we are using, the resources that we have to help somebody else. But I think the reason I wanted to talk about the when is enough is because there is, like, at the heart of it is the poison of comparison, right? We never feel we have enough, not because what we have is not good enough, but because it's not good enough compared to what somebody else has. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's the danger. It's not to say that you should be happy with whatever you have and not ask for more. I think that's another wrong mentality, right? That keeps us in a state of lack versus a state of abundance. This is something I have to check myself on consistently, right? Because you can be incredibly grateful for what you have, but still want more, right? When I say it, you're like, oh, but that's greedy. It's not. It's absolutely not greedy. Like, you can be 100% grateful for where you're at, for what you have, for what you're doing, but you have your sights set on more, right? Because if you have a longing in your heart for something, it is a longing for something that's good. I believe you should 100% go for it. 100% go for it, right? But where we go wrong, where I go wrong, is getting stuck in the comparison game, right? So if I feel like I don't have enough because somebody else has more, then that's when I get in trouble. If I feel I'm incredibly grateful for what I have, I want more because I know I can do more, I can be more, that's different. So let me tell you a story. So when I was growing up, some of you know I'm from Haiti and I grew up in Haiti. So I went to school there. And in the school, well, it is in my school, there's a tradition that at the end of every semester, you receive your grades publicly. So all those kids get into that big room. So my school was both so pretty much I went there from kindergarten all the way graduating high school. But obviously they separate the I don't know, the grades, if you would. But anyway, it's a big deal. That's what I'm trying to get at. And so, you know, every semester I was a good student. And so I was always, so they don't go through everybody's, by the way, because we would be there for hours. They go through the top 10 of each class and they say your name. They say what your grade point average was for the semester, and then they would award different prizes. Okay, so if my brother is listening to this, he's going to roll his eyes to Kingdom Come. But anyway, that's the truth. I was a good student. I was an A student, and I'll always get called doing those things. But there was a prize that I always got every single time. And it was the prize, I'm going to translate roughly in English. It was the prize of general satisfaction and good conduct. So they would call my name, say my grade, and say, Carmina Mers, prize of whatever, general satisfaction. And every time they would call my name, I would just like, oh, I just know what they're going to say. And I just so hated that prize. And again, if my brother is listening, I know he's rolling his eyes because we were two different type of students. But anyway, all that to say that it was a very good thing, right? But I would always compare myself to the other kids who got the price of excellency, or the prize of whatever. And I would like, well, why can't I get the prize of excellency? Why am I always stuck with that general satisfaction crap? you know, and that just to show you the poison of comparison, where I should have been, you know, ecstatic, right? That my hard work was getting recognized. Because those prizes always came with actual prizes. So you would get books and things like that. So I always got something. But instead, I would let that like really ruin my day, because I knew I was gonna get home. So I'm like, okay, what did you get? I'm like, okay, I got the prize of general satisfaction and good conduct. My parents were happy about it, but I, for some reason, never thought it was enough. You see? So it's not the fact that I wanted to do more, right? If, that in itself is not a bad thing, but the fact that I would not even appreciate what I got because I wanted something more, that's where the problem was. Do you see what I mean? So let me know if that's something you can relate with, where you have something good, but you want something more, not because you want to be better or you want to do more, but simply because somebody else got something that's better. Okay, maybe you won't admit it on the comments. That's fine. You don't have to, but you know what I mean, right? And this is where I think the body pride movement, I don't know if that's the right name for it, but where I think it went wrong, you see, because it swung the pendulum the other way. Because for all those years, now I understand where it came from, right? Because for all those years we were body shamed into, because we didn't look like Victoria's Secret models, or we didn't look like the GQ models, right? And so we needed to bring the pendulum somewhere in the middle, but in trying to do so, we went way over the other side, where now it became like a matter of pride to be overweight. And I'm not saying that we should be ashamed at all, right? There's no point. Like, shame is it's such a wasted emotion. It's such a wasted emotion, because it doesn't move us forward. It just keeps us stuck, right? And so, but where I think they went wrong is by affirming the complete opposite, right? In making that seem like it was okay. No, it is not okay. Because if you have if you're in a position where your health is at risk, it cannot be okay, right? So it's not that you're not grateful. It's not that I'm not grateful for the body that I have. It's way far from being perfect. I would not dare go anywhere near a Victoria's Secret catalog, and have ambitions to be a model. Not at all. So I am not ashamed of my body, and I'm incredibly grateful for the things that it can do. That the fact that at 46 years old, I can dance Zumba twice a week, go for hour-long walk most days of the week. That's amazing, incredible. And I'm so grateful for the things it allows me to do. I'm so grateful because I'm in good health, So I don't take that for granted. But that doesn't mean that I don't want more. It doesn't mean that I can't aspire to be more, because I know the healthier I am, the more energy I'm going to have. The more energy I have, the more things I can do, the more I can be of service to other people. Do you see the difference? Because it's never about us, right? The more, it's not wanting more for ourselves. Yes, we are the recipient of it, but we're the recipient of it because we're passing it on, right? We're passing it forward. It's just like if you take somebody like Bill Gates, right? He's been blessed with billions of dollars, but what is he doing with that money? He's not keeping it for himself. Obviously, he has a very comfortable existence. he's no longer married, they're divorced now, but his wife, his children, they're all well taken care of. However, what did he use that money for? He used it to fight malaria in the world. He did it to create and clean water in the poor countries. See, so this is a reason to want more, not because we're greedy, but because when we have more, we can do more, right? So I don't know, that message really spoke to me today, and I wanted to share with you, especially during this holiday season. There's a tendency to vilify the rich, and put the poor on a pedestal. Like, I'm a firm believer that money, well, it's not my thing. I didn't come up with it, but money is neither good or bad. Money simply amplifies who you already are. So if you are a good person, the more money you have, the more good you're going to do. If you're a bad person at the core, the more money you have, the more you're going to use it to hurt more people. That's money in itself, it's neutral. It doesn't have a good and a bad side. It's just the intention with which we use it. So anyway, I didn't mean to preach. That wasn't the intent of tonight's talk, but that really spoke to me today. When is enough enough? And I just wanted to share that with you, in a hopes that somewhere it resonates, and maybe there's somebody who needed to hear that today. I don't know, but hopefully that was not a pointless exercise. But anyway, I enjoy talking to you guys, and sharing what I'm learning, what I'm discovering, and the ways in which I'm trying to grow. By no means am I perfect, far, far from it, but we're all trying. We're all doing our best, right? Every day. And all we can do is all we can do, and all we can do is enough. So with that, I'm going to leave you at that. Go do your Christmas shopping. Don't be like me. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.